Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man does. Can he swing round web? No, he can't. He's a man. Look out for falling Spider-Man.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen. After 3 long years,
we finally have Spider-Man. Spider-Man is back in our lives. 3 years ago, we watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we thought it was
okay.
Yeah, but we understood the flaws. It's bloated and everything. Honestly, I think people are a little too hard on the web franchise.
Yeah.
In hindsight, people have basically turned the web franchise into the joke of the Spider-Man franchise movies, and the Raimi films have been regarded as masterpieces. Except for 3. But not without merit. And I'm not saying that that's not without merit, but I think the Amazing Spider-Man franchise had a lot going for it that nobody really gives it the credit for. I mean, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone had incredible chemistry. Gwen Stacy was a much better love interest, a much more well-rounded character as a love interest than Mary Jane Watson was in the cinematography, and he gave us some really amazing shots.
Whereas now, but now that's all dead and gone, because today Spider-Man comes home.
That's right. Today we are going to see Spider-Man Homecoming. Today we are going to be seeing the first full outing of Tom Holland as the web slinger.
It has been a bit of a long, bumpy road, to say the least, for it to get to this point. 2 years ago, we heard the news that Sony was possibly looking to bring Spider-Man into the MCU.
Which was an incredible story to hear, because I woke Mason up in the middle of the night to tell him that that they had just officially closed the deal.
And that Spider-Man was showing up. We, like the rest of comic book fandom, watched in anticipation as they blew through every single candidate for the potential next Peter Parker.
And for a while, Asa Butterfield from Ender's Game was up for it, and then it was down to 2 guys we had never heard of, and now it's down to 1 guy, and then it was down to 1 guy we had never heard of.
Tom Holland, who was one of the best parts of Civil War as Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
And now he has so much so that they pushed Thor back to November to put this movie in the theaters in peak summer season. And we'll talk more about that in November when we see Thor.
Yes, but now we have Tom Holland taking on Spider-Man.
Now, it's kind of amazing how the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC have kind of switched places in the last almost 10 years since 2008. Back in 2008, Iron Man came out in May, The Dark Knight came out in July, and when Iron Man came out, everyone was like, well, that's pretty good, but until The Dark Knight comes out, then you're screwed. Now, Wonder Woman came out, and I personally was like, this is really good. Till Spider-Man comes out, then you're screwed. And I'm not saying that Spider-Man Homecoming is guaranteed to be a better movie. I'm just saying it's probably going to bring in more, because while Wonder Woman is the holy trinity of DC, Spider-Man is the holy trinity if you put them all together.
You got Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. Those are the 3 biggest superheroes in the world right now.
And also we've pretty much got a brand new director. The only other major thing that John Watts has directed is a movie called Cop Car with Kevin Bacon. We have not seen it, so we have no clue how John Watts is as a director. He might be style over substance. We don't know.
We also, speaking of DC, we also have poached from the DC archive, from the DC world, a legend of the comic book movie genre, Mr. Michael Keaton,
who, after all these runs of Oscar-baiting movies, has just decided, you know what? I'm gonna have fun now. I'm gonna have fun again.
We also have Marissa Tomei as Aunt May,
which is the weirdest part of this entire franchise. Guys, sorry, Middle Eastern Flash Thompson, you got beaten out by the fact that 52-year-old Marissa Tomei is Aunt May. Only this time they put glasses on her to make her look older, which she's still Marissa Tomei.
We also have Robert Downey Jr. returning as Tony Stark. I don't think there's going to be any problems there.
We got Jon Favreau coming in as Happy Hogan for for as many cameo appearances as they would need. So basically the team's back together there. Probably won't be seeing a Don Cheadle or Gwyneth Paltrow cameo in there. I heard there's a Gwyneth Paltrow cameo, but I'm not 100% sure on that source.
Yeah. We also have Zendaya playing a mystery role.
Well, this is a John Hughes-esque movie, right? So I think we know who the role is.
Yeah.
She's that dorky wallflower who Spider-Man completely ignores for the entire movie, and then at the end she takes off her glasses, undoes her ponytail, and then he sees how beautiful she was and realizes that true love was right in front of him the entire time. Yeah, that's all bullshit.
Yeah. We also have Donald Glover making an appearance. He was, of course, the premise for Miles Morales, who was the Ultimate Spider-Man in the comics at the moment.
So basically they are paying tribute to the whole chestnut by bringing him on.
We got so many other people that we can name. It's a really star-studded movie, but we're hoping that they can pull this all out and it will be just as enjoyable as everything else in the MCU.
Well, really, the one thing the movie might have going for it and against it is the fact that there are 6 credited writers for the screenplay.
Yes, John Watts and his co-writer wrote the script, wrote on it. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, who did Vacation and The Incredible Wonderstone.
And Horrible Bosses. But don't put that against them. Do not put them against them. They also wrote a really decent episode of Bones.
Yeah, but they are also writers, and then there's 2 other writers, including Christopher Yost, who did Thor, so...
Either way, it's Spider-Man. He's back in high school. I hope it's going to be fun. I don't really see a downside to this, seeing as Tom Holland proved himself to be pretty good as a pretty good Spider-Man. Some would say the best. Others would say, hey, he's not Tobey Maguire, but he ain't Tobey Maguire.
Well, Tobey Maguire was a whiny crybaby, so let's see.
So we have been pretty much going further than we ever go when we're vlogging. So we will see you guys after the jump. Truth be told, I think I went back to high school for 2 hours.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where I was like, I've been there, buddy. I've totally been there.
And I gotta say, I think because we are actually closer to the high school experience than most of the critics that we actually saw review this, I think we were kind of the target audience for this.
Yeah, I mean, we're 10 years out of freshman year of high school. Peter Parker was us 10 years ago. Was kind of us 10 years ago.
Minus
the web powers,
the spider powers, but you get the point. I think I related to. I did a lot of relating to the character. I feel like I knew him.
Yeah.
And
he seems like somebody we would have hung out with in high school.
Tom Holland hit it out of the park. I don't think it's the best Marvel movie, but it's certainly it's certainly high enough on my list.
Yeah, it's just so much fun. It's probably one of the funniest.
And there's this whole thing, and I could go on for hours talking about all the Easter eggs and recontextualizations of comic book stuff but we can't because that's huge spoilers and it's completely out of our depth because we don't do spoilers in these videos. But just know that if you are a huge Spider-Man nerd, you are going to come out of this happy.
So, let's talk about it as Spider-Man nerds. This was fucking phenomenal, Spider-Man.
I mean, okay, so one thing you cannot fault any of the Spider-Man reboots for is that at least, for the most part, you get a new villain every movie. Because with this one, we got the Vulture, and I think he's not another step in the right direction like the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy was, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was, but he is still a good step in the right direction because he is actually a really compelling villain, and you understand him, you know where he's coming from, and Michael Keaton blows it out of the park. And
well, of course, because it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, like we said, the last few movies he's done have been mainly Oscar-worthy movies, and honestly, I can't wait for American Assassin a little bit because that looks like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. We also have Zendaya. We can't talk about her character
because it's a huge spoiler. Just know that some dickhead on Wikipedia completely threw us off.
Yes, Donald Glover for whatever he's in, he's good. We got...
And Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie, but don't let the trailers fool you. This is not the Iron Man show featuring Spider-Man. He, basically, every scene you see in the trailers, that's all he's in.
Those are all of his scenes. Those are chunks taken from all of his scenes. He's not in anything. They don't add anything more to him.
And that's good, because this is not Iron Man. This is not a movie about Iron Man taking a new little protege under his wing. This is a movie about a kid learning to become the guy he needs to become a Spider-Man. And like I kind of theorized, all this talk about finding your place in the universe, well, that was kind of just a tagline, but really, it kind of is in there. It's not focused on. It's not hugely focused on, but
throughout the entire course of the movie, we see Peter trying to learn that he's a Spider-Man, and Spider-Man has his place in the Marvel Universe.
And we got the brand new character of Ned, who is
he's actually from the comics.
Oh, I honestly thought they just did it because they thought
no, he
has no other character.
Yeah. No, he was the guy. No, he was the guy in the chair for Spider-Girl.
Huh. Wait, so he's in the comics, but he's like 20 years early.
He's like he's Peter Parker's friend in high school. He's been made into Peter Parker's high school friend. They shoved him up and they made it, and they changed his ethnicity.
All right then, I just assumed that he was here because they thought, well, we can't put Harry Osborn in the movie again because we don't want a Green Goblin anywhere. So Harry has no other friends, so new character named Ned.
Nope, no new character. Nope, no new character. He's from the comics.
All right then.
Speaking of the comics, we do get no spoilers, but we do get one of the most iconic moments in Spider-Man comic history recreated on film for the very first time.
Yes, and there are so many little details to that particular scene that kind of feel like, okay, they've read these comics, they know what they're doing. Marissa Tomei is really funny as Aunt May, even though they probably could have toned down the your aunt is hot jokes.
Yeah, kind of could have. However, she got a really funny line at the end of the movie.
The very end of the movie, and it's great. And hey, Michael Giacchino's score, we praise him a lot, and he did something that no one else who has composed an Spider-Man score has ever done, and that is actually incorporates the original 1960s Spider-Man theme song.
Yes, we also get a nod to 1960 Spider-Man at the end, a little bit, but we get a lot of nods. We can't talk. There's so much we want to talk about with Easter eggs that we can't.
We can't talk about it because we don't. Because we can't spoil this.
But we're gushing about this. We are gushing about this movie, but we're gushing about things we don't want to talk about
because this movie is so. Spider-Man fans and teenagers, and people who are still looking at teenagerdom really close in the rearview mirror. Just people who love this character. I don't think you're going to be hugely disappointed in this. If you just don't go into it thinking this is going to be the best Marvel movie ever. Don't go into it like that. Go into it thinking it's a Spider-Man movie. It's a movie from people who get this character. And honestly, while I like John Francis Daley, I'm not alien Jonathan Goldstein just fine. When I heard they were writing this movie, I was a little worried that it was going to be a bunch of dick and fart jokes. It's not. It's not.
Yeah. We also, real quick, probably should point out that Jon Favreau is actually in this movie more than Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Jon Favreau, which is weird because shouldn't he be in Canada somewhere shooting The Jungle Book?
Why would he need to go to Canada? He can stay in I'm pretty sure he can stay in Los Angeles for that.
I don't know where they're shooting The Jungle Book to.
They shot the first one in Los Angeles. Why not?
Well, why not? But Jon Favreau's in this movie a lot more than Robert Downey Jr. So if you came here for RDJ, you're not gonna get much of him.
Yeah. Tony Stark is very much just kind of the looming presence of the entire movie. You know he's there, but that's about it.
And especially and there's little nods to Spider-Man's full origin story, but it's not. But you don't see it because he comes with a pre-murdered stupid shit. I mean, Uncle Ben. He comes with a pre-murdered Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben is not even mentioned by name in this movie. They don't even mention the fact that Uncle Ben had died. They don't. Uncle Ben is like non-existent. Like Marissa Tomei, like Aunt May, never had Uncle Ben.
There's more lip service to. There's more lip service to C-list Spider-Man villains than there is to Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because, like Batman's parents, we don't need to watch Uncle Ben get gunned down in the street one more time.
Yeah, it's been 15 years. We don't need to see Uncle Ben get wasted again. Wasted for the third time in 15 years.
Especially since we saw it in every Raimi movie and the first Webb movie.
Yeah.
We don't need to see Uncle Ben get shot out anymore. We don't need to see Uncle Ben get shot anymore. And I know that there's a friend of ours at work who constantly said, guess he's gonna die again. Guess he's gonna die again. Guess he's gonna die again. Well, no.
He didn't die again. Cause guess why?
Because guess why? He doesn't even have a cast. There's not even an actor cast as him. In fact, when they finally do cast him, they probably don't even need to cast an A-list actor.
You just have some random guy, some random 50-year-old guy.
They could call George Clooney for all I care.
We just needed somebody to play them. We just need to put some random guy in some family photos. But Uncle Ben's gone. We don't need that. We don't need the origin story. And Marvel has already shown us kind of an origin story for Spider-Man. So that pretty much shows that Black Panther, we're not going to get an origin story.
Yeah, we got lip service to the origin story. Like they mention the actual, and it's more accurate to the comics than the Raimi movie actually was, because they actually mention Spider's dead.
Yeah.
Spider is dead, like in the comics. Like in the comics, the Spider actually was poisoned so much by the radiation they shot it with. It actually died after biting Peter. Why am I getting into this? This is unrelated.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're almost home. We should probably stop babbling before we just lose it and go into spoilers.
So until next time, we will see you next time when there is not a movie we want to see out in theaters. So it's time to get your game on. Bye.
Bye.